All right, y'all, it is way too early, but I'm pumped. I cannot wait to get on the road. It's been about a year since I've been able to make a good road trip. Between my eye diagnosis and bunches of doctor visits and Angie's diagnosis and a bunch of doctor's visits, it's like all I've seen is doctor's offices. So it's going to be nice to see a pretty river. And I'm heading to the Suwannee, which is one of my favorite places on earth, with Jameson Reddings coming down to meet me and one of my favorite people on earth. So it should be a good one. I cannot wait. I'm so pumped. Y'all stay tuned. All right, y'all. Made it to camp. We're at Griffis Fish Camp. Now, I've never stayed here before. You know, usually I'm over at Stephen C. Foster, but the Suwannee's right over there, and it's about 5 miles down from the sill, and that's where Jameson and I are going to try to float and do some fishing. But I mean, it's a beautiful place. You know, they've got some full hookups, but unfortunately, this being spring break weekend, it is slam full. So let me show you Casa de Faro. You know, just the way I like to set stuff up, because I'm old and I like my cot and I like comfort. I didn't know what I was getting into, so I even brought the body just in case, but thankfully there's one over there, so always be prepared. All right, this water is incredibly high, like higher than I think I've ever seen it. I'm waiting on Jameson right now. He'll be here shortly, and then we'll set up camp. I got my stuff set up. We got to wait for him to set up, but I figured I'd come check him out while I was waiting on him. I'm gonna pick it up. Let's see. Oh yeah. All right. Oh, come on now. Isn't that what buddies are supposed to do? Hurry up to the fishing hole and catch the first one. Jameson, I owe you one. Oh yeah. All right. Nice. For years I fished with heavy hooks down here, and it just skips, it comes off, you know, off of the fish's mouth because they're so bony. What I learned is that little bitty wire hook, a light gauge wire hook, you may lose some fish, but I promise you, you will hook far more with a light hook than you will with a heavy hook. I know y'all can't see them because of the sun. I'm watching some bowfin. And that is way more fun than it should be. Go that way. No, sir. Absolutely not. Well, you can be grumpy all you want. I'm not feeding you. Gotta outrun the lizards. This is where we're going to be launching the boats tomorrow. How exciting. Well, look who we found. That's his hind end. Sometimes he shows it.
That's my best side.
We're not going to tell him that we done caught his first fish, so we'll keep that a secret to ourselves.
It's been too long.
Yes, it has. Of course.
I don't know if I remember how much.
Yeah. I wasn't sure which end of the rod to hold. I didn't know if it was that twisty thing or the pointy end, but I figured it out. We'll make sure you get it too.
You're like, this still works.
This is Jameson's cool setup, so coming in. Definitely a little fancier than the Funk Casa, but you know what? It's all about the fish.
It's all about that fish. No.
Hold on. This turns from the headwaters of Suwannee and just parallels the sill. The sill, you know, was just where we tried to drain the swamp. Back, I don't even know when they dug it, honestly, but it was probably back in the 50s, maybe 60s. They tried to drain the swamp, maybe even earlier than that. But they put in 2 drains to water level control it, and that's what the sill runs in between. Well, we're below that sill, running paralleling it, going back through the trees, and this is just an incredibly gorgeous paddle. And when the water's low, I mean, paddling around here, you better make noise. You know, it's one thing to be peaceful and quiet when you're paddling, but you do not want to surprise the stuff that you could surprise back here.
What do you think they were trying to drain it for? Just to gain land?
Gain land, sure enough. That's all they wanted to do. Just greedy, you know, folks that come in there. I mean, I could only imagine what this place looked like with all the virgin cypress trees that are growing in here. You know, there was cypress trees that were wider across than a man is tall, and they actually brought an entire railroad through the middle of the swamp, built a town on Billy's Island out there in the middle of the swamp, and which was originally a Seminole settlement. But that town had like an air-conditioned movie theater. It had churches, it had schools, it had, you know, commissary, and folks lived out here and worked and logged it all. And then, of course, after everything gets cut down, you know, what do? Well, you move on and go destroy something else. So, oh, come on, that's a good one. Oh, he jumped off. Shoot.
You got that. What happened?
He jumped off, just clean jumped off.
That was a big old head shake.
That was a big old head shake. He sure wrecked that spinnerbait, but he ate it, so that's a positive sign anyway.
Yeah, that's
It's a jack, ain't it?
Oh, it is a jack. Gee, I don't like it. I don't want it anymore.
I thought it was a bass at first.
I thought it was a Bowfin at first. Changed my mind. I don't like them.
Oh, come on. Use your grip and get a grip.
You did eat the frog, though. That was kind of
Nice. Nice. Very nice. It's a pretty one, too.
I don't like these grippers.
It just freaks me out. You ain't gotta use
They
it.
stink.
It smells like success.
It smells like a stinky fish.
Love that. Yep, and it was up there on the tree. And I wasn't running the camera, dang it. It was up in there on the base of a tree. All right. Good gracious, what a tangled mess that is. Come on now. Got a pretty good one, Jameson. I saw you come up with it. Again? All right. Good job, pal.
I don't see how you ever get this thing to go in the mouth.
I mean, if you can get to your hook, you don't have to use them.
The hook's out.
Well, reach in there and grab him, man.
I can't hold on to him.
Come on, pal. All right, James, there's one on the jig. Oh, good, quick release. There's one, Jameson. Oh! Yeah. Not a giant. Not a bad fish, anyway. Come on. Pretty good fish, though. Spinner bait, crank it slow on the bottom. You keep telling me, throw the spinner bait, throw the spinner bait. Jameson, what lesson did we learn in the swamp?
When there's a lot of water, there's not a lot of fish.
There's a lot of water.
A lot of water.
There's too many acres for the fish to get to, and you will work far too hard for them, but it's still fun, man.
Oh, it's such a cool and unique place. I don't think I've ever been anywhere with that many gators in my life. Definitely this is the world record gator per square inch.
And on a spring break weekend, there's like a flotilla of boats and canoes, and yeah.
Very popular area, but I can see why. I mean, it's so wild and different, and yeah, this was cool just having this little camp spot. The state park camping where we've camped before was closed, so
and
coming in here.
In a couple weeks, like the swamp irises will be blooming, that golden clubfoot will be everywhere, the lilies will be opening. I mean, in a couple weeks this place is going to be on fire. Probably the fishing would be, and it's one of the things. He should have been here yesterday or next week. Yeah, probably should have been here next week, but we had to try it, had to go. Appreciate you coming with me, pal.
These adventures are not just about the fish, man.
Exactly.
It's about us hanging out and exploring some stuff.
Exactly. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man.